Good morning. We are up and about, what time is it? It is 7:14, not bad. And we are just walking to the street and we'll try to get a hitch back to the road. I think it's called Diablo Dam Road. And then we'll be walking no more on Highway 20. Thank goodness. And today's a 50% chance of rain. It already drizzled this morning. And then, oh, this is so pretty. I'll show you in a second. And then tomorrow it's 70% chance of rain. And sorry, I'm just so caught off guard by how pretty that is. And we'll get going. I think that's pretty. So we'll try to hitch. See if there's any cars coming. Someone's checking out why this is closed. So far we had one car go by in about 10 minutes maybe. Very, well, our chances are amazing. Got a hitch, made it back. That was like 2.8 miles, but it's so nice to get a hitch back because I want to walk this on this road right here. Busy. Back to Diablo Dam Road. Narrow, steep, winding road, half a mile. Got some rocks covered in moss.
Cultures and times people were more accepting.
Yay! We've got a trail. There's a sign though. So, just as we got to this trail, it starts raining. Of course, that's good though, because we're under the trees, which should make it a little bit better. All right, so our original route included a lot more Highway 20, but once we recalculated, it added 1 mile to our hike, but it took away 11 miles of road walking. So we were like, that is an easy decision. We'll hike more miles as long as it's not on Highway 20. So right now we are on Diablo Lake Trail. And it's a windy kind of trail. I wonder if you can ride your bike on this, because that would be fun to ride your bike on. What you got? Oh, where you going? Like oh, did you drop off your cone just in case? Okay, I'm not gonna get your cone. I promise. What is it? River Crossin. I can't tell you how pleasant it is to be back on a trail when you've walked on a road for 2 days. The road walk is one thing, right? Because it kind of hurts your body in a different kind of way. It's the cars. There's a bunch of things I've learned on those 2 days. Number one, United States does not care about pedestrians. And this is not an anti-American statement. I am a US citizen. I'm happy to live here. I don't want to go back to the country I came from. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people in this world, or in the United States. And you would think they'd be a little bit more pedestrian friendly, add a little bit more sidewalks. Maybe not the road that we were on, but in general, right? Like, especially like I live in Florida. where the sidewalk's at. Now, granted, nobody wants to walk in Florida because it's so hot outside, but still, what if I wanted to walk? It would be nice to have some sidewalks. And then the other thing I've learned is I'm going to be a really nice driver from here on out. I'm not gonna slur. I mean, not that I ever try to be a bad driver, but I think I'm gonna be more of a careful driver. Because people, like, cars are scary. I mean, cars are like just violent boxes that can just like hit you and then you be gone. So, yeah, that's what I learned walking on Highway 20. Wow, I have just 3 more days, including today, for this journey to be ending. I will be ending my series once I get to Canada, but I will have videos of me getting back to Harts Pass and my road trip. If you're interested, stay. I know that once somebody stops YouTubing their through hike on a daily basis, a YouTuber generally loses anywhere from 10 to 20% of their subscribers. I get that because, you know, the journey's over. I'm really not going anywhere. Like, I have more hikes to do. Stay tuned. Maybe I'm gonna be a triple crowner. And then also I have a lot of gear videos, as in like my gear this year suffered a lot more than on the AT. Granted, some of the gear that I have I brought from the AT, so it probably should be done. But I have a lot to talk about gear when it comes to some of my understandings and things I might do differently. Maybe some things I would not do differently. So stay tuned. I appreciate you've been here. If you want to go, it was so nice to have you. But if you are sticking around, that's also really wonderful. Either way, maybe we'll see you again on my next long distance hike, hopefully. So yesterday, as I mentioned, Summer and I participated in a tour of New Halem. It was very random. We were ready to go. And then Summer came up and says, hey, would you like a tour of the town? I'm like, sure, why not? Go, just have some fun, right? Anyway, the tour was really fun. It was only 30 minutes, but like, it was so interesting. So the guy who did this whole dam stuff, oh man, now I don't know which way to go. I was about to give you all this cool information. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Like Arnold, back. Okay, so the guy, Mr. Ross, who did all of this stuff, he has like 2 islands. And he was a very unique person because one of the islands, he wanted to have a deer, like white deer. They're not albino deer, they're like lucindic or something like that deer. So he had some white deer or lucindic deer put on the island. And then on the other island, he had put some monkeys. But what the tour lady said is, what he didn't realize is that deer know how to swim. So they got off the island and then went into the woods. And then maybe, you know, found a normal colored deer and had a baby. So I guess there are still people who can see lucindic. I'm saying it probably wrong, but it's not an albino deer because they're still having like the pigments in the eyes. So lucindic or something like that. Lucindic, anyway. And then with the monkeys, now they they don't know how to swim, but apparently cougars wanted them as like some snacks. So the cougars came swimming over and had a nice buffet there. So what they did after a while is they had a person catch the monkeys each night, put them away so that they would not be, you know, eaten. But then that only lasted like 2 seasons or something like that. So isn't that interesting? Like, what kind of person is like, oh, well, I've got 2 islands. So I'm going to put like some white deer on the one island and I'm going to put some monkeys on the other island. I mean, it's kind of interesting. That definitely sounds like an eccentric person. But it was so cool to be part of that like tour. And it's like, of course, it's like, you know, it was Summer's idea. It was so fun. I really liked it. That's neat. Oh no. Oh goodness. Nothing worse than you can see through. Okay. That's where it came from. A lot of reflecting happening on this here gravel. I was thinking about what did I take away from the Pacific Crest Trail. And I think it's important to know what I took away on the Appalachian Trail to help with that. On the AT, the biggest thing I took away was that I have value. Which is a very interesting realization for me because at the time, I felt like I was a selfish person. But at the same time, I also felt like with my spouse at the time, that I did whatever my spouse wanted. And I kind of lost myself. So on the AT, I learned that I have value, that I shouldn't lose myself anymore. And so on the PCT, what did I want? I want to take away some of my selfishness. I realized like beforehand, maybe I wasn't that selfish, but I kind of was a little bit selfish too, even though I lost myself and my character in my previous relationship, you know. I don't talk about my relationships, but that's one of the things. And so on this trail, I realized that, the whole having value came back again. Like, it's very interesting. Because what I wanted is I wanted to take the selfishness away, compromise with the people I'm around, and create really meaningful relationships. And a lot of times those happen with compromise because on the AT, there was no compromising on my part. And so I therefore didn't really create meaningful relationships because people are not used to somebody being very stubborn and wanting it their way. And so, you know, I lost relationships because it was uncomfortable to be around a person who wasn't budging for anybody. So on this trail, I wanted to do the opposite because I no longer felt I needed to be selfish and do whatever I wanted to do. And I think I did such a great job with some of the relationships that I have. Now, when it came to my first family, it was a little bit different. Communication stopped. And the agreement was no longer the way the agreement was originally. I don't really want to talk about that part. However, because, you know, somebody's going to bring it up. Well, you didn't really compromise on the first family. I did. Anyway, so on this hike, I really feel like I compromised a lot. I never felt upset about it. You know, like sometimes when you have to compromise, you feel not good about it. And I often did things in order for me to create those meaningful relationships. Now, like when it comes to Boss Bay and Bird Call, you know, I still hiked my own hike when they decided to take 2 days off to be with family. It's totally understandable, and I could have waited, but honestly, it didn't feel right, and I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities and situations that, you know, shaped me who I am. In fact, what I learned over the last week, it was probably the most important thing that I learned, and it wouldn't have happened if I had stuck with Boss Bay and Bird Call. There's a person hiking like very strongly behind me. Oh, it's the ranger lady. Hold on. So I was talking to the ranger lady, and I was so enthralled talking to her. We both walked to the dock, and I was like, that's not where I was supposed to go. And she's like, oh, sorry. She did check my permit for camping tonight. That's cool. Very cool job. Maybe that's something I want to do. But in a second, I'm going to talk about what I learned. That's where I was supposed to go. Okay, so bringing it back to what did I learn on the PCT that I would have not learned if I had stuck by Boss Bay and Bird Call. Maybe they would have taught me something similar, but it just happened that it just happened within the last few days. So the whole thing about me having value came back up, which was surprising me because I thought I knew that I had value. But I think I forgot. And there was a situation where I got very perturbed, as well as I was hurt, but I was very angry. And I haven't really been angry lately, but anger can be good at times to catapult something within you, and it did. I was so angry because I felt I had compromised and tried to do whatever's comfortable for a partnership in hiking to work. And I realized that if a person doesn't want to be around me, then that's on them. And if they do, then that's great too. But I cannot be reliant on whatever this person wants or doesn't want. I need to be happy with myself. And as I was walking, I thought, Roadrunner, Julianne, you are amazing. You are special, you're confident, and you're such a pleasure to be around. If somebody doesn't want to be around you, it has nothing to do with you. And it was so nice to feel this way. And I just relearned myself. And I learned that I have value. Now the good thing is, that person did end up wanting to be around me. But I think what was really great that I learned in that moment when I wasn't sure that it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do this reroute myself or not. I don't need anybody. And I don't know why I'm talking cryptic because all y'all know who I'm talking about, but still, I think it's because I don't really want to make it about that person. I want to make it about my expectations of that person and how I really shouldn't have those because I should just have expectations for myself. That's what I learned. Taking a little lunch ski. Hiked 12 miles and I have 12 more to go. Well, it's been a while since I've said hi. I am completely drenched. I have 2 miles left to the campground. I've got a pretty lake right here, but the enjoyment is at level like 2 because I am so drenched. And I hope I'll get there in time before it starts raining again so I can put up my tent. And wow, this rain makes me not want to live in a rainy state like this. Pretty, but I'm suffering right now.
That sound is an air pump, but I'm in my tent. It's raining. Tomorrow we get back on the PCT after about 18 miles, and then the day after tomorrow is Northern Terminus Day. Wow, exciting.